My name is Fernando. I go by Nando Blends on Instagram, and I've been cutting hair for 5 years. And before joining RBM, I was roughly making like 4K, 4.5, getting no new clients. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, building my social media presence. And as I started working with RBM, I've been able to grow my social media, get 104 new clients within 30 days. And I was able to raise my prices twice, going from 35 to 55 to now 55 to 75 within the span of a month and a half.
Like, what made you want to get into barbering? Most importantly,
Well, really, it was pretty much not really a choice. I mean, didn't really have nothing going for myself. So my mom either gave me the opportunity to cut hair with her because she already had the shop, or become like an electrician. So I was like, I'm not trying to be an electrician. So, might as well just go cut hair. I mean, I've been cutting hair for 5 years, but in reality, like taking it serious, like 2.
I mean, like, for how long were you really doing like around 3 to 4K a month?
From July to like October,
So
and
like,
that was with me paying my car. I had a charger. I got rid of everything. I had a whole life reset. Yeah, and I didn't even know how I was doing it back then.
you were basically making the same amount of money for like 2 years.
And the thing is, I wasn't saving no money. I wasn't doing nothing. I was like, get it, spend it, and I didn't have nothing. So joining RBM has definitely been like mind shifting. You look at things differently. You're with like-minded people.
What did we really do in your business? Like, what type of content? What did we tell you that went from you having 5 new clients to 104 new clients in 30 days?
Well, really, I mean, it's like the small things you don't really think about. So, like, how to properly show the people's facial features, how to make them stand out, like the right camera positioning, the befores and afters. Like, it's the small things like that really make a big difference, that attract new clients. And how to record, how to talk to people, and how to like explain things to them when making videos and stuff.
And I mean, like, what type of content was the one that was giving you 104 new clients?
Consultations. That's just pure consultations.
Oh, like, does your like mom ever try to do those videos or not?
Nah, she's gonna retire this year, like within the end of the year.
I mean, yeah, I guess for you, but like, was there any like maybe doubts, misconceptions that you like, oh, like I probably can't scale in my place, or this is not possible for me? Like, was there any time or in time and place that you felt like that during your your journey?
I would say when I first started, before I was actually like officially paid and everything, I was skeptical because I'm like, man, I live in a ghetto ass area. Live in I don't know if people are willing to drive or pay, like for a haircut. But I mean, using social media, and yeah, pretty much using social media, TikTok, Instagram, people find you and they're willing to make that drive, which is probably like the most craziest part for me. My name is Fernando. I go by Nando Blends on Instagram, and I've been cutting hair for 5 years. And before joining RBM, I was roughly making like 4K, 4.5, getting no new clients. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, building my social media presence. And as I started working with RBM, I've been able to grow my social media, get 104 new clients within 30 days. I was also able to double my income. Before, I was making roughly like 4K to 4.5 to now making 8.5 to almost 9 pretty much. And I was able to raise my prices twice, going from 35 to 55 to now 55 to 75 within the span of a month and a half.
It just made sense to keep going up in price, especially since your business was in demand.
Yes, sir.
I mean, bro, like, you were one of those that, I think, like, if we're gonna able to tell the viewers exactly, bro, how you were able to double your income, go up in price twice from 35 to 55 to now 75, getting 104 new clients while also still building your social media presence, getting, having the opportunity to monetize your content as well. And most importantly, you in Indianapolis, Indiana, that we don't really hear as much barbers out there, and kind of like the disadvantages and advantages that you had that we use towards your business. So I mean, like, I guess for you, but like what made you want to get into barbering? Most importantly,
Well, really, it was pretty much not really a choice. I mean, didn't really have nothing going for myself. So my mom either gave me the opportunity to cut hair with her because she already had the shop, or become like an electrician. So I was like, I'm not trying to be an electrician. So, might as well just go cut hair. I mean, I've been cutting hair for 5 years, but in reality, like taking it serious, like 2. Because, I mean, it never really caught my interest until I was like, well, I'm making some decent money. But even then, I was kind of already getting burnt out. I'm like, bro, like I don't even know what I want for myself really until like last year around like June, July. I seen RBM, and I was like, well, I need to, I want to invest in myself and see what they can do for me. And then later on, I kind of I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if I want to full send this. And then I joined around like October. I was still kind of spectacle. Even when I joined, I was like, man, I don't even want to be on camera or do none of this. But I had already invested in myself then, and I just decided to do it all and just implement all the systems they gave me. Which has led to the point where I'm at now. Getting people to come like an hour and a half, had people come from Kentucky, California, Ohio, and Michigan to get a haircut.
Yeah, like, and like, people always feel like, oh, my location, I can't probably, people are not gonna pay this price, or I can't really scale my business. But the whole point is to really reach that out, like get that outreach, not just in your city, in your town, but the city, the states around you as well. That's kind of like what we always go towards. Because with social media, like you can get people to drive, fly, literally to you. Does not matter, where you're located. It really just depends on the like on you marketing yourself so people can know you. So like I guess for people like some people just really start just cutting hair for the passion. Some they just want to try something new. But I guess for you like you had already seen your mom like cut hair, so she was kind of like you kind of like basically followed her steps, or that was the option that you had. Either you do
Yeah.
that or you do the electrician. So like I guess for you, but like what made you want to like grow on social media? Because like I think we talked about this before, and like your mom was really just cutting hair and kind of like just doing what like a normal barber would do. So like, what made you want to be like, you know what, like I want to try something different and get another route or take another route?
Well, I would say the biggest thing, I've always kind of knew I wanted to do something as far as something with social media because I would play the game and stream or whatnot, but she wouldn't let me do that. So I was like, well, I have to, I would look at her and I'm like, I don't want to be like 50 years old cutting hair, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if I invest in myself now, focus and grow, I could be done within like 5 years ish. Because I don't want to be 50 years old cutting hair for the rest of my life. And like every other barber, they're just sitting. Like I see a lot of people around my city. They're old and cutting hair still, and I don't want to do that. Right now that I'm young, I get tired every now and then. So I'm just like, yeah.
Like, how old is were like when was it when you started cutting hair?
I was the first ever time I was 12, but then I didn't like it. I hated it, and then when I actually started cutting hair, it was right like quarantine ended 2020, like October-ish.
Yeah, I think bro, there was a lot of barbers that are quarantine. I mean, me myself, I was also a quarantine barber as well. But so like you were doing like that kind of like why I like really asking like what you were doing before you like scaled social media like before like years behind is because like a lot of barbers like they see on social media like all these results from all these students like they don't understand that we were literally just from like we were just like them, right, in the same shoes if not even worse. So like people think that like oh they magically just made it, like you also admitted like you were in the bad habits, you were probably I don't know doing things that you weren't supposed to, the wrong path. So it's like people also like like I kind of want the viewers to really see that like like, it's not always just like roses and colors and whatever not.
Peaches and cream, yeah.
Yeah, like it's really like more like either was you take that route and you work with that and like you struggle with it in the next 5 years, or you do something about it and then you see results like you. So like I guess for you like what were like things that you were doing before like like things that you were like that were not working for you? Like what was the
I,
habit that you were doing and what?
to start off, like personally, bro, I feel like everything starts within yourself. You have to change within yourself, whether it's going to the gym or doing new habits. Because, like me, I was like hella overweight back then. So, I had to start with myself before I actually wanted to be on camera. So, that was like one bad habit. I was like just going out, eating, and doing a whole bunch of dumb stuff, smoking. So, I had to let go of all that to be where I'm at today.
I guess for you, like what was it like a specific moment that you like, what, like something has to change? Because I believe that, there's always has to be something that needs to happen in order for somebody to like finally, do something about it. Or because like people don't just be like, they don't just wake up one day and be like, you know what, today I'm gonna decide to change. Like there's something that specifically has to happen.
Well, for me, like in particular, I had just got out of like a relationship, and that's not what I wanted no more. So I was like, in order for me to change, I have to get rid of that, then change my persona, and then looking at my mom, like she would struggle and stuff. So I'm like, if I am able to help her and make money, and then what I'm saying, I could help her do whatever she wants. But of course, with that, you have to do everything. Like you have to, there's sacrifices and trade offs to everything.
And I guess maybe like what were some of the trade-offs that you have to do?
Well, one, as far as like personally, well, I had to stop eating out every time, go to the gym, stop hanging out with my friends, drinking alcohol and stuff like that. And then as far as like when I went with you guys, I was still going out every now and then, but I had to really lock in from with my business because I mean, going out and all that is not really gonna get you nowhere. You're just gonna wake up every day, feel like shit, feel like trash, and then if you're trying to pump some content out or something, it's just gonna show on camera and people are gonna see.
How would you say like like the mastermind really helped you out? Like what really made you change? Because like I mean you were already doing really good, but even then like I remember when you went to mastermind, you're like, you know what, bro, like bro, I'm gonna go all in. You're gonna see my results, and bro, like they literally speak for themselves. Like, what was like something that changed, in between like you being in the mastermind and like you being around that circle?
I would say one of the biggest things, well, kind of like off topic, in topic a little bit. I had already known about you guys, and you guys were like the biggest barbers in your city. So I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it too. But I just didn't know how to exactly. So when I was able to attend like the mastermind thing, like the mastermind, I was able to see like basically how do I say it? Like a more in-depth view on what you guys went through and how I had similar struggles or how you guys have similar struggles that I'm going through, we went through. So attending that is kind of more eye-opening because it's like if you guys can do it, I can do it, but sometimes you're really gonna need help in the right systems and you just gotta accept that.
I mean, bro, like what were you charging before like work when it was like how much were you charging, how much were you making?
Before, bro, I was working like $15 a haircut. Then I scaled like $5 every other year. And I'm like, bro, when am I ever gonna get to like the 50 mark or how am I even ever gonna get to that mark? And I was just like, bro, something has to change. But I mean, it was pretty much, I mean, I was just making like it was like 3.5, 4K. And then on a really good month, it would be like 4K, 4.5 as I started building my clientele, obviously over the years. And that was like without social media, really. It was all word of mouth. But now, day of age, you don't really like when you have social media, you don't need that.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, like for how long were you really doing like around 3 to 4K a month?
Let's see. Roughly like for 2022 to 2025, on July, October, no, from July to like October.
So
And
really,
that was with me paying my car. I had a charger. I got rid of everything. I had a whole life reset. Yeah, and I didn't even know how I was doing it back then.
and so you were basically making the same amount of money for like more than 2 years.
And the thing is, I wasn't saving no money. I wasn't doing nothing. I was like, get it, spend it, and I didn't have nothing. So it's definitely been joining RBM has definitely been like mind shifting. You look at things differently. You're with like-minded people,
Right.
so you kind of
Yeah.
you get to see everything, behind the scenes and all that.
No, I mean definitely like the new system that we have now, like obviously having the 6 calls per week, where like you're basically able to give you live feedback, literally on the call in front of a lot of students, everybody in the community, and not only like yeah, I feel like that system is really good because you not only do you learn from yourself, from your own content, but you're also able to learn from other students how they do their raw content, raw consultation that you might have maybe been thinking of. I mean, I guess for people like obviously I know how we helped you, but the people don't know exactly what we did with you. I mean, like, I guess for people like if you would want to share like what did we really do in your business, like what type of content, what did we tell you that went from you having 5 new clients to 104 new clients in 30 days?
Well, really, I mean, it's like the small things you don't really think about. So, like, how to properly show the people's facial features, how to make them stand out, like the right camera positioning, the befores and afters. Like, it's the small things like that really make a big difference that attract new clients, and how to record, how to talk to people, and how to like explain things to them when making videos and stuff.
I mean, what type of content was the one that was giving you 104 new clients?
Consultations. That's just pure consultations.
Oh yeah. I mean, but like, what would you say? Like, because obviously, bro, there's a lot of people that try to copy on social media. They try to copy what they try to copy your script or like maybe one of our other students. Like, why would you say like maybe sometimes that wouldn't really work all the time?
Well, it's not really gonna. It might hit twice or three times, but it's not really gonna work all the time because there's certain things behind the scenes that you have to know and understand and why they work. So when you just try to copy somebody and you don't know why that works or what it does, and then you just kind of miss out on the whole thing.
No, yeah, yeah. I think that's something that I always tell barbers like, yeah, you could copy you could try to like do the type of content that, a student that's doing really good in the program, try to copy it. And yes, it might work like 1 to 2 weeks max. Why? Because it's so new to your audience. It's so new to, your followers. But since you don't understand why it's done, how it's done, and when it's supposed to be done, I promise that after 3 weeks, you're going to see everything go down. Why? Because you don't really understand the whole purpose of why the consultations are done. And that's when, it leads to, you going back to the 2K view jailbreak. And some barbers don't even get a spike. They never actually figure it out, not even for 1 week. So they just stay at, 2, 3K views. And I'm here for you, like, from like averaging 5 new clients, like what was that feeling, when you're like, damn, like when you got like 140 new clients, like what was everything going through?
I mean, it was like I couldn't even tell you, bro. Honestly, it was like, damn, bro. Like actually seeing fucking Booksy notifications every 3 seconds. I'm like, bro, that is crazy. Because I mean, I've never seen nothing like that. And that just goes to show, like having like the right people, systems, and mindsets, you can really get stuff done. Also, that you have to put in the work though, because I mean, you guys can only tell us so much, but we're really the ones that are gonna have to put in the work.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, like that's something that, people think is like, bro, like I invested, like now I magically have to get the results. No, like investing was the first step, then is the work that needs to be done. And
Yeah, I remember our call. You said like, I mean, you're gonna give me the 50%. I just have to do the rest, and I mean, the results are there. So
yeah, I mean, bro, I think you put more than 50%, to be honest.
yeah.
We went the first 30 days, we did a consultation, these 104 new clients, and then we went up in price to 55. And literally a month and like 9 days or 10 days after, we went up on price again to like, now 75. So like, was there any moment that, and obviously it was not no like $5 like how you were used to, it was minimum of 15, which is like, that's the standard. What was going through your mind when you're like, damn, like I was from 35, now 55, and now 75? Like what was like the mindset for you?
I mean, going from 35 to 55, I was honestly ready for it because I've personally, in like within myself, I feel like I've put enough work to actually like charge that, I guess. Like, well, not I guess, but like actually charge that. And I was kind of like, iffy at first, but I'm like, bro, fuck it. Like, I mean, I've done work for it, so, I deserve it. But then, I mean, like, as far as going from 55 to 75, trying to get to 100, man.
No, yeah, I mean, definitely gonna be the next step. The next step. And it was not like, okay, now no, just because you got 104 new clients, you're gonna go in price. No, was because you were keeping track of your numbers, your slots, your new clients, total cuts, days worked in the last 30 days, which it was making sense for you to go up in price. Like, that's what a lot of barbers don't do. They don't track none of their numbers, and they just go off in price just because, like, oh, I've been charging 25, 35 for so long. I should go up in price, maybe $5. And then they see that they don't actually retain no clients because they just go up in price just for emotion. But for you, it was like the static, like the data was, was green. The numbers were green. Everything was green. It was just right to go up in price, which is why, we went up in price first time. And then a month and 10 days later, another, like, again. And if everything keeps going good, like, bro, we could go up in price to 100, which is going to be the next jump. Like, there should be no less than that. That would be the next jump. And like you can really get there like in the next 30 days, or if not, like maybe another month and 10 days. It just really depends, on the generating new clients and that making the numbers make sense. So obviously never break your business, but instead scale it.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, like, we also doubled your income, like almost 9K. Like, what? I mean, your mom literally works next to you. So, like, I mean, even when she was like looking at you doing the content, like, what would she do? Like, what would she think? Or she would tell you something?
Well, I mean, at first, when I told her, she was kind of skeptical. She's like, what did you do? Why'd you invest? This and that. Because, I mean, I forgot to say, but previously, I had invested in a program, and I invested in the program that it didn't really work out for me. And I didn't, like, if I have to be 100%, I didn't put in my effort, like my 110% effort. So, but it still wasn't the program I was looking for at all. And then she was like, you're going to do this again and you're not going to do the same thing. So, I mean, I was already like in a mind switch, I guess. I'm like, I have to do this now or never, because I mean, I would do a lot of stuff and I wouldn't follow through with it. So I'm like, this is going to be like the breaking point, whether I do it or not. Cause I mean, not everybody's willing to invest some cash into themselves.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely, like what, like I said, and it just goes to prove, like, if you don't do the work, then nothing's really gonna just get handed to you and be like, okay, here are some magically new clients to your chair. It takes effort and it takes time. Like, I feel like now everything, everybody wants everything super quick, and with the right systems, like keeping in communication with us, like really staying accountable. I mean, bro, like you were one of those that you kept yourself accountable, and even when you were like going like maybe no communication here and there, you kept yourself accountable, which is the reason why you were able to go up in price this fast. Does your like mom ever try to do those videos or not?
Nah, she's gonna retire this year, like within the end of the year. So nah, no, she's not
Also, she
doing. I told her, I'm like,
you
you
gotta.
gotta be donezo's.
No, yeah. I mean, that is definitely something that, she's the one that brought you in, and like, why not do the most out of it, Because, like, wait, are your parents immigrants?
My mom is. She's like, she has her citizenship now, but my dad's in California. He's from here.
No, I was just asking this because, like, my parents are Mexican, So, like, they both came from there. Now they're both citizens, but they both came from Mexico and shit. But, oh, and also, do you have any siblings?
Yeah, well, my brother was a barber too. Well, he's a barber, but he doesn't cut too much hair like I do.
Wait, do you guys work together?
No, he's more like cuts his friends or whatnot. Nothing crazy.
Wait, is he younger or older?
He's older. He's 30. He'll be 31 this year. Damn.
31?
Yeah.
So there's only two of you guys?
Oh well, my sister in Mexico.
And you Mexico?
So yeah, in Mexico.
Oh, in Mexico.
Mm.
So it's three of you guys.
Yeah, three.
Three. Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess for you, but like, was there any like, maybe doubts, misconceptions that you like, oh, like I probably can't scale in my place, or this is not possible for me? Like, was there any time or in time and place that you felt like that during your, your journey?
I would say when I first started, before I was actually like officially paid and everything, I was skeptical because I'm like, man, I live in a ghetto ass area. Live in I don't know if people are willing to drive or pay, like for a haircut. But I mean, using social media and yeah, pretty much using social media, TikTok, Instagram, people find you and they're willing to make that drive, which is probably like the most craziest part for me. Like it's pretty crazy. Like, especially like people telling you, oh, I drive an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like, dang, bro. Like, just for a haircut, bro, it's kind of crazy, bro. So I didn't believe that at first, but it's like seeing it with my own eyes is kind of like.
When I saw my first time I ever saw a video, people was like, "Oh, I drove 5 hours to come see you." And I was like, "Bro, this guy capping. Like, why you gotta lie?"
Yeah.
And when I started doing videos and I started generating like a lot of new clients, people were driving, like flying. I was like, "Holy shit! Like, this is actually true." And I think a lot of us just, I feel like that mindset really just comes from the circle that we're in. Whether it's in a barbershop, or like in a suite, or like just people that are near us. Since like people that work in barbershops usually have people that don't really invest into themselves. They just take walk-ins, business cards.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing right there. Is like just going. I had like 2-3 appointments, and I had to wait for walk-ins to make my other money. So and then I was just like, bro, I'm tired of doing that. I don't really want to be cutting hair forever. No, something has to change.
No, yeah, and I mean like that's kind of like where that mindset comes from of like maybe it's not possible for me because like maybe all of your guys' coworkers, business partner, whatever, not they probably don't even use social media the right way. And since you're not around people like that, you're like, nah, this is not possible for me. Like this cannot be true. This might be fake. They gotta be lying. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's where that comes from. I mean, I guess like last question for you is like, if you were to like look back at the first thing that you invested to like now, what really made you want to do it again? Because you had already invested into somebody else. And obviously, you didn't do the work when you had to, but you also did not get the coaching that you needed or that you wanted. So it's like, what really made you want to do it again? Because like most people like quit the first time.
Yeah, I mean, like I had already hit like a breaking point pretty much. I was kind of like in a point where I'm like, dude, I was already, like I said earlier, I was already like on my way of changing my life. So I'm like, I have to change my business. Like I have to do something different that nobody's doing here in Indiana. That was probably like the biggest thing. Because I mean, I see everybody doing it like around other states, but there's really nobody here in Indiana or at all. So I'm like, that was like the biggest thing. And then for me, I'm like, bro, I need to do this.
Oh yeah. I mean, like if you were to like, let's say somebody wants to join a program, just like, whether it's RBM or some other program, and they're like, like a little iffy about it. Like, I mean, what would you tell them? Because I'm sure you were in that same shoes as them.
I mean, probably the first thing I would say is like, I mean, it's definitely not going to be easy at all because the first month for me was kind of like, I didn't want to be on camera. I didn't want to post the content or do none of that. But I mean, how am I going to get the results if I'm not doing the work? And then once I started posting content, you start seeing the views, you start seeing the likes, you start seeing the people booking, then it's kind of like, okay, now I got to do this. And the biggest thing is finding a program, whether it's RBM, of course, or any other program, just doing your research and make sure like the coaches have the results before anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I feel like a lot of barbers, like they typically just like they try to wait for the right time. They try to like they don't really want to bet on themselves. I feel like a lot of barbers. I was there as well. I wanted to like make more money. I wanted to get more new clients. I wanted to build a brand. I wanted to, like, maybe help out my parents or buy myself, a nice car or whatever it was, especially being younger. But I wasn't willing to do anything for it. I just wanted it and wanted it, but I wasn't willing to like give up anything or trade off anything to get there. So I feel like that's one of the big things. Like you really have to, be willing to give up something, because a person that's being successful is probably giving up all the things that you are not willing to give up, which is the reason why everybody gets to where they get.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing for me because like I had joined RBM on October, and I was like going out every week, every single weekend, spending money, and then the last day before Thanksgiving or the day before Thanksgiving, I'm like, bro, I have to put all that behind me and focus on the business. So if like that goes back to what you're saying, like if you're willing to sacrifice, have trade offs, do whatever to better yourself, then you gotta just go for it and do it. Just pretty much betting on yourself. And I mean, people are gonna judge either way, so
Yeah,
and they're gonna talk.
that's always true. Like, we're gonna judge anyways. I mean, brother, that's kind of like, to come to the close. Like, you're literally the proof. Like, it does not matter where you are. You could be in like the most ghetto, more like low quality place, but that still doesn't mean that you're not able to attract new clients to build a brand, because you doubled your income. You went up in price twice, 55 from 35 to 55 to now 75. You were able to also build a brand. You have people drive, from states, not towns, but states around you, which is, really good at. It just shows to like, with the right systems and actually being consistent with posting content and understanding why, like your business can consistently go up in price, like every month and a half, not every year or every 2 years, like every barber does it. But other than that, that's pretty much what, you guys are able to see a little bit more of Nando, and like really showing you guys that it doesn't really matter where you're at, whether you're 30, whether you're 16, 18, 21, does not matter where you're at. Like, it's never too late to actually want to build yourself up in social media, scale as a barber, because if nothing changes, then you shouldn't expect anything in return. But other than that, pretty much a wrap. I'll make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.